Have you ever added beets to your salad, smoothie, or dinner plate, thinking you were making a smart, healthy choice? You're not alone. Beets have earned their reputation as one of nature's most powerful superfoods. They're rich in antioxidants, fiber, folate, and natural nitrates that support heart health, brain function, and even athletic performance, from detoxing the liver to boosting circulation and energy levels. Beets seem like the ultimate health hack, don't they? But here's the catch. While beets are incredibly nutritious, many people are unknowingly sabotaging their benefits. You might think you're doing everything right, but sometimes it's the little things, the habits we don't even realize we've formed that make the biggest difference in how our bodies absorb nutrients and respond to food. Have you ever wondered why your beets sometimes taste bitter or metallic? Or why that beet smoothie doesn't give you the energy kick it promised? Could the way you're preparing, storing, or combining beets with other ingredients actually be holding you back from their full potential? Stay with me because in this video, we're going to explore 12 common mistakes people make when eating beets. Mistakes that could actually be fatal if you're not careful. And trust me, mistake number 2 on our list is going to shock you. Before we get into it, can you do us a quick favor? Like this video and subscribe to join our healthy community. Also, type yes in the comment section now so we can see how many of you are interested in this type of video. All right, let's get started. Nutritional power of beets. Let's take a moment to appreciate just how powerful beets really are. These vibrant root vegetables aren't just colorful additions to your plate. They're loaded with nutrients your body craves. Beets are naturally rich in nitrates, which help widen blood vessels and support healthy blood pressure. That means better circulation, more oxygen to your brain, and even enhanced stamina. They're also packed with fiber, which keeps your digestion on track and supports gut health. A major win for your immune system and energy levels. One of their most impressive compounds, betalains, the pigments that give beets their deep red color. These natural antioxidants fight inflammation, support tissue repair, and may even help combat the development of cancer cells. You'll also find a whole alphabet of vitamins and minerals: folate, manganese, magnesium, potassium, iron, vitamin C, vitamin B6, and even a bit of plant-based protein. This unique combo makes beets a powerhouse for energy, detoxification, and cellular function. Everything your body needs to thrive from the inside out. Top 12 mistakes you should never make when eating beets. Mistake 12. Throwing away the peel. If you're peeling your beets before cooking or eating them, you're missing out on some of their most valuable nutrients. The outer skin of a beet might look tough or dirty, but it's actually packed with powerful compounds your body needs, especially betalains, the antioxidants responsible for beets' rich red and purple hues. Betalains are known for their anti-inflammatory, detoxifying, and cancer-fighting properties. They help neutralize free radicals in the body, reduce oxidative stress, and support the liver's natural cleansing processes. And guess where they're most concentrated? Right near the skin. In addition to these antioxidants, the peel is also a great source of dietary fiber, which aids digestion, helps regulate blood sugar, and keeps you feeling fuller for longer. Many people don't realize that peeling beets actually removes a significant amount of this fiber, as well as trace minerals that contribute to heart and brain health. The good news: you don't have to eat dirty beets. Just give them a good scrub under running water with a vegetable brush to remove any soil or grit. Once clean, you can roast, boil, steam, or grill your beets with the skin on. In most cases, the peel becomes soft and tender during cooking, and if you really don't like the texture, you can easily rub it off after boiling. So next time you're prepping beets, think twice before grabbing that peeler. By leaving the skin on, you're not only saving time in the kitchen, you're keeping the nutrients exactly where they belong on your plate and in your body. Mistake 11. Not using seasonings. If you've ever thought beets taste bland, earthy, or even downright boring, you're not alone, but here's the real reason why. You're probably not seasoning them properly. Beets have a naturally sweet and earthy flavor profile, but just like potatoes or rice, they need a little help to shine. When you skip seasoning, you miss the opportunity to balance and enhance their natural taste. And that's a shame because with the right flavors, beets can go from mundane to mouth-watering. A splash of lemon juice or a dash of balsamic vinegar can completely transform cooked beets, brightening their flavor and balancing their earthiness. Adding a drizzle of olive oil, a sprinkle of sea salt, and a crack of black pepper can elevate them even more. Want to get fancy? Try herbs like rosemary, thyme, or dill. These all pair beautifully with roasted or steamed beets. Even simple spices like cumin, coriander, or paprika can add depth and warmth to beet dishes. And don't forget garlic. Whether raw in a salad or cooked into a dish, it brings a bold contrast to beets' natural sweetness. If you're making a beet smoothie or juice, a touch of ginger or citrus works wonders for both taste and digestion. And for salads, mixing beets with a good vinaigrette helps the flavors soak in while improving nutrient absorption. The bottom line, beets aren't boring. You just need to wake them up with the right seasoning. It's not about masking the flavor. It's about bringing it to life. Mistake 10, using old wrinkled beets. When it comes to beets, freshness really matters. If you're using soft, shriveled, or wrinkled beets, you're not only sacrificing flavor, you're also losing out on key nutrients that make beets such a valuable food in the first place. Fresh beets should be firm to the touch with smooth, unblemished skin and a deep, vibrant color. When beets start to age, they lose moisture and their skin becomes wrinkled or rubbery. Inside, the flesh may dry out, become woody, or develop a dull, bland taste. More importantly, as beets age, their nutrient content begins to degrade. Vitamins like vitamin C and folate are particularly sensitive to time and storage conditions. The longer a beet sits around, especially if it's been exposed to air, heat, or light, the fewer benefits it offers. So, how do you choose the best beets? Look for ones that are small to medium size, as they tend to be sweeter and more tender. Large beets can sometimes be tough or fibrous. The skin should be taut, not sagging, and free from bruises or cuts. If the beet greens are still attached, even better. They should be crisp and bright, not wilted or yellowing. And if you're storing beets at home, remove the greens right away to prevent them from drawing moisture from the root. Store beets in a cool, dark place or the fridge crisper drawer to extend their freshness. Remember, fresh beets equals better taste, better texture, and better nutrition. Choosing high-quality beets is the very first step to getting the most from this powerful root vegetable. Mistake 9, discarding the green. If you've been tossing out the leafy tops of your beets, you've been throwing away one of the most nutrient-dense parts of the entire plant. Those vibrant green leaves aren't just edible, they're absolutely packed with vitamins, minerals, and health benefits. Beet greens are loaded with calcium, iron, magnesium, and vitamin K, making them excellent for bone health, blood clotting, and energy production. They also contain vitamin A and vitamin C, which support vision, skin, and immune function. In fact, gram for gram, beet greens can be even more nutritious than spinach or kale. They're also rich in antioxidants and fiber, which help reduce inflammation, support digestion, and regulate blood sugar. And unlike the root, which is higher in natural sugars, beet greens are very low in calories and carbs, making them ideal for those watching their blood sugar or trying to lose weight. So, how should you use them? Beet greens are incredibly versatile. You can sauté them with garlic and olive oil as a quick side dish. Toss them into soups or stews. Blend them into smoothies for a green boost. Or even chop them raw into salads, especially the younger. More tender leaves. Just make sure to wash them thoroughly to remove any dirt or grit, especially if they came fresh from the market or your garden. Store them separately from the beetroot to prevent wilting, and use them within a few days for the best flavor and nutrient retention. Bottom line, don't toss the tops. Beet greens are nutritional gold, and using them means you're getting the full value out of every beet you bring home. Mistake 8. Forgetting salt during cooking. One of the most overlooked steps when cooking beets is something incredibly simple: adding salt to the water. It might not seem like a big deal, but skipping this step can make a noticeable difference in both flavor and texture. When you boil or steam beets without salt, they often come out tasting dull or flat. That's because salt doesn't just season the outside. It helps draw out and enhance the natural earthy sweetness of the beet from within. Just like you would never boil pasta in plain water, you shouldn't cook beets without at least a pinch of salt. Adding salt during cooking also helps with even seasoning. It gets absorbed slightly into the beet as it cooks, rather than just sitting on the surface afterward. This creates a more balanced and satisfying flavor with every bite. But the benefits go beyond taste. Lightly salted cooking water can also help the beets maintain a better texture, especially if you're planning to roast or store them after boiling. It's a small adjustment that makes a big difference in how enjoyable your final dish turns out. You don't need a lot. Just half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt per pot is enough to do the trick. If you're watching sodium intake, consider using natural salts like Himalayan pink salt or sea salt in moderation. These often contain trace minerals that are lacking in regular table salt. Cooking beets properly starts with the water they're boiled in. A little seasoning early on sets the foundation for a delicious, nutrient-rich dish that doesn't need much else. Mistake 7. Wasting canned beet liquid. If you've ever opened a can of beets and immediately poured the dark red liquid down the drain, you're not alone, but you are throwing away a surprisingly nutritious and versatile ingredient. That vibrant liquid isn't just dyed water. It's packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that naturally leach from the beets during the canning process. One of the key compounds in this liquid is betalain, the same powerful antioxidant that gives beets their rich color and supports liver function, detoxification, and anti-inflammatory responses in the body. The canned beet liquid also contains small amounts of potassium, folate, and magnesium, which are essential for heart health, nerve function, and muscle maintenance. And while it does carry some sodium, especially if the beets were packed in salted water, you can easily adjust for that when using it in your cooking. So, what can you do with it? Plenty. Stir it into soups or stews for extra color and a subtle earthy sweetness. Blend it into smoothies for a nutrient boost. Add it to salad dressings, sauces, or even homemade hummus for added flavor and vibrancy. Some people even use it as a natural food dye, or mix it into baking for a beautiful hue. Just be sure to check the label. If the can contains added sugars or preservatives, you might want to use the liquid more sparingly. But in general, if you're using low sodium or no added sugar canned beets, the liquid is not just safe, it's beneficial. So next time, don't toss it. Use that beet liquid to your advantage. It's an easy way to get more out of what you're already eating. Mistake 6. Not blanching canned beets. If you've ever opened a can of beets, tasted one, and noticed a strange metallic or slightly tinny flavor, don't worry, there's nothing wrong with your taste buds. That metallic taste is a common side effect of the canning process, and while it's harmless, it can definitely take away from the enjoyment of your meal. The good news is that there's a simple solution: blanching. Just bring a pot of water to a gentle boil. Add your canned beets and let them simmer for 1 to 2 minutes. That's all it takes to neutralize the metallic taste and bring out more of their natural sweetness and earthiness. Why does this work? During canning, beets are sealed in metal containers, sometimes with added preservatives or salt. And over time, a bit of that metallic residue can subtly affect the flavor. Blanching helps rinse off and dilute those leftover elements without compromising the texture or nutritional value of the beets. Even if you're planning to roast or sauté canned beets afterward, giving them a quick blanch first will improve the taste and make them more pleasant to eat. It's especially useful if you're serving them cold in salads where metallic notes can be more noticeable. And don't worry, blanching won't wash away all the nutrients. Most of the fiber, folate, and antioxidants remain intact, especially if you limit the boiling time. So, if canned beets are your go-to for convenience, take this extra minute to improve both flavor and experience. A quick blanch can turn a just okay ingredient into something delicious and satisfying. Mistake 5. Avoiding canned beets entirely. It's easy to assume that fresh is always better. But when it comes to beets, avoiding canned versions altogether might mean missing out on convenience without sacrificing much nutrition. Canned beets have gotten a bad reputation, but the truth is they can be a fantastic and reliable option, especially when you're short on time or fresh beets aren't in season. Nutritionally, canned beets still offer many of the same benefits as fresh. They contain fiber, folate, potassium, iron, and antioxidants like betalains, which support heart health, reduce inflammation, and aid detoxification. These nutrients hold up well in the canning process, meaning you're still getting a significant health boost. The key thing to watch with canned beets is the sodium content. Some brands pack their beets in salty brine, which can raise your sodium intake more than you'd expect. Fortunately, there's an easy fix. Simply rinse the beets under cold water before using them. This removes much of the excess salt without affecting the taste or texture. Another tip is to look for low sodium or no salt added options when shopping. These varieties are widely available and make it easier to control the seasonings yourself. Canned beets are also incredibly versatile. You can roast them, blend them into smoothies, toss them into salads, or warm them up for a quick side dish. And because they're already cooked, they cut down prep time significantly. Perfect for busy days or last-minute meals. So, if you've been skipping canned beets thinking they're somehow inferior, it's time to reconsider. With the right choices and a little preparation, they can be just as nutritious and far more convenient than you might think. Mistake 4. Only boiling them. If boiling is the only way you're preparing beets, you're missing out on a whole world of flavor, texture, and versatility. While boiling is a common cooking method, it's not necessarily the best one. Especially if your goal is to maximize taste and nutrition, boiling beets can cause them to lose some of their water-soluble nutrients like vitamin C and folate into the cooking water, especially if they're peeled before boiling. While it's not a terrible method, relying on it exclusively can result in bland, soft beets that don't show off their full potential. Instead, try roasting beets in the oven. Roasting intensifies their natural sweetness and gives them a richer, more complex flavor. Simply scrub them clean, wrap them in foil, or place them in a covered dish and bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until tender. The skins will slip right off afterward if you prefer them peeled. Grilling is another fantastic option. Slice beets into rounds, brush with olive oil, and grill for a slightly smoky caramelized finish. This method adds depth and pairs beautifully with fresh herbs or vinaigrettes. And don't overlook raw beets. They're crunchy, slightly sweet, and perfect grated into salads or slaws. Raw beets retain their full nutritional profile and add beautiful color and texture to any dish. Each method brings out a different side of the beet. So don't be afraid to experiment. Whether you roast, grill, steam, juice, or enjoy them raw. Varying your preparation not only keeps meals interesting, it ensures you're enjoying beets in all their delicious, nutrient-rich glory. Mistake 3. Poor storage. How you store your beets can make a huge difference in how long they last, how fresh they stay, and how nutritious they remain. One of the most common storage mistakes, leaving the greens attached. When you bring home fresh beets, it's important to cut off the leafy tops right away, leaving about an inch of stem at the root. The greens are still alive and will continue to draw moisture and nutrients from the beetroot, causing it to shrivel faster and lose both texture and nutritional value. Once trimmed, store the beetroots unwashed in a breathable bag or container inside your refrigerator's crisper drawer. Properly stored, fresh beets can last up to 3 weeks or even longer. If they're already cooked, keep them in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 5 days. And if you've bought more beets than you can use soon, freezing is a great option. First, cook them. Boiling or roasting works. Let them cool, then peel and cut them into slices or cubes. Store in freezer-safe bags or containers, and they'll keep for several months without losing flavor or texture. As for the greens, don't toss them. Store them separately in a bag with a paper towel to absorb moisture and use them within a few days for best results. Poor storage doesn't just lead to wasted food. It also means lost nutrients, flavor, and money. A little care goes a long way in making sure your beets stay as fresh, sweet, and nutritious as the day you brought them home. Mistake 2, not using them in desserts. At first, the idea of putting beets in dessert might sound strange, but once you try it, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. One of the most surprising mistakes people make with beets is limiting them to savory dishes only. In reality, beets are naturally sweet, moist, and full of nutrients that make them an excellent ingredient for baked goods. Beets blend seamlessly into desserts like brownies, chocolate cakes, muffins, and even pancakes. Their subtle sweetness complements cocoa beautifully, and they add a rich, moist texture without the need for tons of oil or butter. You can puree cooked beets and fold them into your batter. It not only enhances the flavor, but also adds a stunning deep color and a boost of fiber, folate, iron, and antioxidants. And here's the best part. Most people won't even notice there are vegetables in their dessert. It's a clever way to sneak more nutrients into your diet, especially for picky eaters or kids who turn their noses up at vegetables. Using beets in desserts also helps you cut down on refined sugars. Their natural sweetness can reduce the amount of added sugar needed in recipes, making your treats just a little healthier. Plus, if you juice or roast beets regularly, using leftover beet puree in baking is a great way to reduce food waste. So, if you've only been eating beets in salads or side dishes, it's time to expand your horizons. They're far more versatile than most people realize, and your sweet tooth might thank you for it. Mistake 1, eating expired canned beets. This last mistake might seem obvious, but it's more common and more dangerous than you might think. Eating expired canned beets. Canned foods are known for their long shelf life, but that doesn't mean they last forever. And when it comes to your health, especially with something as perishable as beets, expiration dates matter. Over time, even sealed cans can degrade. The lining inside the can may break down, leading to chemical leaching or allowing air and bacteria to get in. When this happens, the risk of foodborne illness, including serious conditions like botulism, increases dramatically. Always check the expiration date before using canned beets and not just the printed date. Look at the can itself. If you notice bulging, rust, dents, or leaks, throw it out immediately. These are signs that the seal has been compromised and the contents may be unsafe to eat. Even if a can looks fine on the outside, open it carefully. If you hear a loud hiss, see bubbling, or notice a foul smell, that's a red flag. Don't taste it to make sure. Just toss it. No meal is worth the risk of food poisoning when storing canned beets at home. Keep them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight or heat. Once opened, transfer any leftovers to a sealed glass or plastic container and refrigerate. They should be used within 3 to 5 days. Staying mindful of storage dates and signs of spoilage is a simple habit that protects your health and your loved ones. Canned beets can be convenient and nutritious, but only when they're safe and fresh. Who should be careful eating beets? Beets offer a wide range of health benefits, but like many powerful foods, they may not be suitable for everyone. While they can be a great addition to most diets, certain individuals should be a bit more cautious before loading up their plate with beetroot. If you have a history of kidney stones, particularly oxalate-based stones, you'll want to pay attention. Beets are naturally high in oxalates, compounds that can contribute to the formation of kidney stones in sensitive individuals. If that's you, it's best to talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian before making beets a regular part of your diet. People with low blood pressure should also be mindful. Beets are known to help reduce blood pressure thanks to their high nitrate content, which relaxes blood vessels. That's great for many, but if your blood pressure is already low, beets could potentially lower it further and cause dizziness, fatigue, or lightheadedness. And for those managing diabetes or watching their blood sugar, it's important to remember that beets, especially cooked or juiced, contain natural sugars. They're not off limits, but portion control is essential. Pairing them with a source of protein or healthy fat can help slow sugar absorption and maintain more stable blood glucose levels. If you're dealing with any chronic health condition or taking medications that affect blood pressure, blood sugar, or kidney function, it's always a good idea to check with a healthcare provider before making big dietary changes, even with a natural superfood like beets. Final thoughts. To wrap things up, beets are a powerful addition to your diet, but only if you're using them the right way, from how you cook them to how you store them. Small changes can unlock big benefits for your health. Don't let simple mistakes rob you of the nutrients, flavor, and versatility that beets have to offer, whether you're roasting, blending, or adding them to desserts. Now you know how to get the most out of every bite. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more easy, practical health tips. Got a question or something to share? Drop it in the comments. We're always reading. Thank you for watching and supporting our channel. To keep learning, we've handpicked 2 videos just for you. Click on one of them and we'll see you there.